Questions from the Zoom screen. Let's start with Devin Jackson, Philadelphia Inquirer.
Hey Abdul, thanks for taking the time to talk with us this afternoon. Just wanted to ask about your season and kind of your transition to being an edge rusher. How would you evaluate yourself at this point? Obviously, you've garnered a lot of accolades in the postseason, but how will you evaluate the position change now, almost a full season complete?
Yeah, I try not to focus on the success I had too much. I just try to keep finding ways to get better. My first year playing a new position, I'm doing really well. It's helping me, helping my teammates, but I'm still trying to find ways to get better each week.
Let's go to Mike Gross, Lancaster Newspapers.
Hi, Abdul. Thanks for doing this. According to the fans and social media, you were getting at least held and at most tackled on almost every play of the Oregon game. Was it really that bad? How does it compare to other games in terms of how much you were getting held? And also, what have you learned about how to play when how to deal with being held?
Yeah, I just try to keep playing, just try not to get discouraged. Whether I get the call or not, just try to keep playing, just give my 100% effort each play. If I get the call, I get it. If not, I'm just keep working, just keep working. Eventually, I get a call, I get a second. But I just try to keep working, not get discouraged.
Let's go to Joe Smeltzer.
Hey, Abdul, thanks for the time. So, Coach Lashley from SMU said earlier today that he feels you're the best defensive player SMU has seen since he's been there based on film. A little later, Coach Allen said he feels you're the best defensive player in the country. To have coaches things say like that about you and with the season you've had, but to be passed over for some national awards that you had been nominated for or finalists for, do you feel slighted by that? And does that give you an extra edge going into this playoff run?
It definitely gives me an extra edge. You know, the night I got snubbed for the Nagorski Award, did some push-ups that night, maxed out. I just use it as motivation. Not trying to get discouraged. I still feel like I'm the best defensive player, but not just defensive player. I feel like I'm the best player in general. You know, we like the categories a lot as defensive players, but we impact the game just as much as offensive players. And it doesn't have to be defensive player. It's player overall. But I just use it all as motivation.
Let's go to David Melandra.
Two quick questions for you. One, how do you think you guys are handling this week, especially with this being the first playoff game at Beaver Stadium? And secondly, what is your message to those players that are considering going to the NFL or considering coming back?
Yeah, we just take each week like we've been having throughout the whole season. We prepare the same way. It's the same energy. And towards the NFL, we not focus on that. We just focus on the playoff, focus on one game at a time. And that's what we've been doing.
Let's go to questions in the room. John in the middle.
Hey, Abdul, what have you learned from that Oregon game, and what can you kind of take from that moving forward to help you guys in the playoff?
Yeah, we learned a lot. Each game is going to be things we learned from, things we did well, things we didn't do so well. In that game, it's a lot of things we didn't do well, a lot of jobs. We didn't execute our jobs well. We just learned from that, fixed that, worked on that throughout practice, and we're going to be better next week.
In the back corner, T. Frank.
Abdul, over here. What have you learned differences between playing the run from off the ball and from the line of scrimmage? Leading the nation in tackles for loss is not something easy to do for a defensive end who's been playing there for a while, let alone doing it in one offseason, essentially making that transition. So I'm just curious, what were the focuses for you early in the season, and what have you learned playing the position over the last 3 months, essentially?
Yeah, definitely my techniques, the technical stuff of the position. At linebacker, you coming downhill dealing with offensive linemen, but at defensive end, obviously you're close to the line, they're right in front of you. You got to be ready with your hands, your feet, driving your feet, running your feet, playing with technique. So that's the most important piece for me, just learning that process.
Right here in the middle.
Hey, Abdul, thanks for the time. Zane Durant said that SMU had very, very unique fits to their offense, something that you guys had not really seen. Is there a team that you can compare them to that you've played in the regular season on film? And if so, how does that go about, you discussing with the defense in the film room?
Yeah, I think each team is different. They all got their different weapons, different pieces, different ways they can impact the game. But with SMU, what I've seen is their quarterback, he pretty much make them run. He can make plays with his arm, his legs, just extending plays, making people miss. So I would say the quarterback for them is the biggest thing I've seen.
In the back middle here, Max.
Hey, Abdul, to follow up on what you just said there, when you do have a quarterback that can extend the play and take off running, you guys have a fairly aggressive pass rush, a fair number of blitz packages. How do you balance getting upfield to disrupt the pocket with preparing for him to escape?
Yeah, we just got to play complementary football. We got to force him into what we want to do, rather that's stopping the run, getting our pass rush ready on third down, just making sure we allow him to play what we want to do. We want to dictate the game. That's what we want to do.
Let's go over here on the right, Mark.
Abdul, I was running around taking some photos, but did you say you did push-ups after the Nagurski Award came out? And what is that? Can you explain? Is that just a way of kind of venting, or what is it about?
I just like using things as motivation. I like finding ways to get an advantage, get an edge, but just find any kind of way to get better. And I just used it. I didn't want to feel it to nothing negative, so I put it into something positive, just getting better, getting stronger.
Over here on the left in the front, Joel.
Hey, Abdul, thanks for doing this. With Saturday's game obviously being a home playoff game, and then it's expected to be cold as well. First of all, do you like playing in the cold, and do you feel like it kind of gives you guys as a defense the advantage, maybe sort of a home field advantage?
Yeah, for me personally, weather don't matter. It could be hot or cold, but obviously them coming to our environment that we pretty much been used to, and they pretty much not. It's going to be an advantage for us, but it's going to be cool. Everybody knows it's going to be cool. It's about how you take it. It's going to be a mindset going into the game. It's going to be cool. You just got to accept it.
Right here in the front, Bob.
Hey, Abdul. I got to go back to the push-up thing. We have a pool going right here in the room. How many push-ups?
Yeah, I didn't. I went to failure till my arms gave out. Yeah.
So pretty high number.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you about Zane Durant, a guy that I think has made huge strides this year inside. I know you get asked a lot about, Denai's growth, but he's a classmate too inside the year that he's had. What can you say about him? And do you think his development has actually kind of helped both you and Denai in terms of blocking schemes and stuff like that?
Yeah, I came in with Zane. I came in when he was about 270 pounds. He put on 20, 30 pounds of muscle now. He's faster, bigger, stronger, smarter. And I've seen it throughout this whole season, starting in the offseason, the way he was training, the way he was working. I can tell that he wanted to get better. And that's what he showed this season, that he's gotten better. He's made improvements. He's going to continue to do that throughout the playoffs.
In the back here, Shane.
Hey, Abdul, with this opportunity with the playoff and having a chance to compete for a national championship, how much energy do you get from that, knowing that this is kind of a unique situation where it's win or go home now?
Yeah, this is what we work for. This is something we've been talking about since I've been here. Something all we talk about is winning a national championship, getting in the playoffs. And now we're here. We have this opportunity. We got to do everything in our power to make sure we take advantage of the opportunity.
Right here in the middle, Audrey.
Hey, Abdul, thanks for the time. What do you remember about your recruiting class? Because obviously we all kind of from the outside looking in, looked at you guys as the nucleus to this thing. And here most of you are, in your third year. What do you remember about those guys then and kind of where you're all at now?
Yeah, it's kind of dope, and it all go by so quick. Just coming in with those guys, still being here with those guys. I feel like we're the best Penn State recruiting class of all time. We just got to finish business this season and really cement ourselves as the best Penn State class of all time.
Let's go to Daniel right here.
Abdul, along those lines, you came in with Drew Aller. He announced yesterday that he's coming back next year. What does that do for this program to have that quarterback, want to come back, announce that? And then how have you seen Drew grow, particularly over this year?
Yeah, I've seen Drew grow a lot, just like I mentioned with Zane, just coming in with those guys, seeing how they developed, seeing how they got better, seeing the things they improved from each year, like year on and year out. So it's just dope to see all that, and they really starting to come into their own.
Let's go into. You good, Max? All right, let's go to Seth right here in the middle.
Abdul, when you're able to find the success, I know you don't want to talk too much about it, but how fun is that for you to play football and continuously get to the quarterback or the running back in the backfield in every game? What's that like for you?
Yeah, I'm living on my dreams. I'm having the most fun I ever had playing football. And I've been playing since I was 8 years old, and I'm just living on my dreams. I'm very blessed. I'm just very humbled to have this opportunity. I just want to keep taking advantage of all the opportunities that I have.
Let's go to Zoom. Devin Jackson.
Hey, Abdul. Just wanted to ask you about just Coach Allen talked a little bit about kind of the gravity you bring as a pass rusher. A lot of teams are focused on, trying to slow you down and open up other opportunities. How's your game evolved in that aspect and understanding like, hey, I might not get to the quarterback on this particular play, but it'll open up other opportunities for my teammates and create other plays because of how dynamic you are of a pass rusher.
Yeah, something I learned the hard way is that you're not going to make every play. So I don't need to get a sack every play. As long as I just play with 100% effort, it might be a tackle or just running to the football, just the little things. You're not going to make every play. So wherever they use me at, however I moved around, I just try to play with 100% effort.
Any more questions for Abdul? Got one more here for John.
You said you learned the hard way. How did you learn the hard way?
I feel like my year last year, coming off of, I was a freshman All-American, but then coming into my second year, I just was trying to do too much, just trying to make every play instead of just doing my job and allowing the plays to come to me.
Last question, Seth.
What do you talk about, doing whatever role you're asked to do, whether that's play a different position or move around. What do you think you've learned from Tyler Warren, kind of seeing him do something similar on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, honestly, I get a little jealous sometimes because I know I can play offense too. He's moved around a bunch, but what he's doing is dope. Congrats to him. He's a first-team All-American, and just dope just watching him being here the last 3 years, competing against him in practice. You can see what everybody's seeing now. I've been seeing it 3 years ago when I first got here.
All right, thanks, Abdul.